I believe it is important for us to start early to build capacity among youth and children for peace and effective conflict management. And that can be done through peace education. Peace education can be formal, it can be informal. Formal, like working through curriculums, getting books into schools to learn about peace and conflict. Based on that, I put together a series of books, and there is Every Youth Should Know Peace and Conflict, targeting the youths to be used in school, which was recently approved by the NERDC, Nigerian Education Research Council, for use in secondary and primary schools. While the formal education is important, it's also important to use what we might consider informal through various mediums to reinforce and also infuse the skills, the information, the capacity for peace and conflict. It's on that note that the Peace Tale competition comes into play. The competition targets youth from the age 14 to 16 and from 17 to 21. And the whole idea is to have participants choose from a list of folk tales. As we know, our folk tales carry a lot of our deep cultures, including our deep cultures for peace and conflict. And we want the participants to choose folk tales and rewrite them in a way that reflects peace, meaningful coexistence, and effective conflict management.
We are interested in peace. We've done a lot of capacity around peace and all these things. We're part of the Partnership for Peace and all of that in the Niger Delta. But we have not been able to find platforms for engaging young people effectively. So for me, the Peace Tale competition provides that avenue and that platform. And that's why I didn't even think twice. I didn't even say, let me think about it. Because I thought, oh, this is brilliant. So now, you will see that young people are going to respond positively because now you're asking them to tap into their creativity, which they have in leaps and bounds, and to retell the stories in a way that brings peace. While they are doing this, they are going to be learning about the importance of conflict sensitivity in language, in discussion, and in all they do. So that we can see that if more young people are sensitive about conflicts, messaging and content, a lot of the hate chats we see on Twitter, on Instagram will reduce. Because now they can think through the consequences of utterance. Because they've analyzed utterances in folk tales and have been able to redesign them to be more conflict sensitive.
I think one of the beautiful things I've seen about Saros coming here is inclusive education, special needs children, learning with normal, regular children in the same environment. That inclusion makes for a difference. And when you add technology to it, then, I mean, the sky is just a springboard. So, Mrs. Rosemary udo-emeh, please tell us why Saros did partner with uduak on this Peace Tale competition.
When uduak came to me with this project, Peace, and I listened to her go on and on, in fact, uduak didn't let me rest, as she went on and on about peace, it resonated with me. In fact, I think 3 of our students have done a review on the youth book. And for me, it's unity in diversity. When she told me that peace is not the absence of conflict, and it's true. As far as we live in this world, conflict is real. But she brought out the beauty of conflict. There could be a peace in the midst of the difference. Like, we are an inclusive center. We are so different. I have children with different learning needs. But being able to navigate all of them together brings about a very beautiful and real mix. So we're really excited. I'm excited because of the folk tales. I'm one of those people that believe that we should learn. I teach my children here every single day that they are Nigerians for a reason. No matter how much we pronounce our words, cross our T's and dot our I's, we are Nigerians, and they should not forget it.
You need to speak to them in the language they understand. You can't, there's a way you talk to children. It might sound weird to an adult's mind, but there's a way you talk to children. There are over 22 million children that are out of school. How do we raise lifelong learners? How do we, like we always say, anytime I go for events around with children, we always say, leaders are readers, and readers are leaders, and even the other way around. We call them efiko, we call them people that read a lot, we call them all these names, but you never see an efiko that is a poor person or broke. Or most of these people that invented all the technology in the world, they're all nerds that sit on one side, they read books, they So how do we get these people to love books? And that's what made me interested in it. And, you know, we need more things like this to keep the kids engaged, to even make them feel like part of the process. I have kids that have come to me that want to publish their books as well. It starts from here. You know, so what am I looking out for? I won't tell you everything, but one of the things I'm looking out for is innovation. You know, like part of the work I do as the team lead in UNICEF Quality Education Advocacy Network, we do all these advocacy programs to encourage kids to be part of the learning process.
Adults, children, and I find it more fascinating when I speak to children from very low income, situation, and I don't have any magic wand beyond my story to share with them. And I love the impact and the feedback I get when I share it, because it's like a big scale of their eyes, like really. So if you did hawk on the street, you did go to the farm with your grandmother, you did skip school to go to the farm and go to the market, those are the things about who I am, right? And you are this person, then I can be whoever I want to be. So it kind of opened their mind to the fact that I can and I will. And that for me is very powerful. It's part of the reason I thought, beyond just having the privilege of Uduak calling me or Glory saying, come and speak to these kids, I can put it down in a book. When you put peace side by side, children, and you put that in a conversation, I'm interested. Because we're where we are because of mistakes that have been made in the past. How can we mitigate it? How can we stop this pain for further deepening? It is by the actions that we take today. And not just by talking at the children, but by getting them to be a part of it. And what better way than to make them sit down and actually think about peace processes, conversations around peace, because they cannot write the stories without actually building characters who would think how to make peace happen, without actually building plots of a story, who would think about if this happened, that can cause a trouble, can cause problem. So what should I do for that not to happen? That's how their plots will go. And by doing that, they will be living the process and sharing the process. It is not, out of the box that you speak to some children these days that tell you, oh, this politician is this, oh, that one is thief, oh, this one is that. It's because of what they hear and what they see. And what we say sometimes, unknowingly, they soak these things like sponge. Mm-hmm. So this is a very deliberate and conscious effort to give them what they need to make a better future.